Hey guys, just gonna make a quick video on the Tokyo Marui MWS M4 GBBR platform regarding common first upgrades that you should do, or recommended first upgrades. This is a question that I see all the time, and so I just, there's other videos I think out there, and we have information out there. We have a Discord group, which I can link, that is a vast wealth of information regarding these guns. You can ask questions there, and people are really friendly and helpful. The community behind these guns is one of the reasons I love them. It's a great community, and it's a great gun. It's a great platform. So there's not a lot you need to do out of the box. There's not a lot that we recommend, but really quick, I want to make a video on basic first upgrades you should do. I'll try to do some other videos with more advanced upgrades or just other considerations. Something I've been kind of wanting to do for a while, just haven't gotten around to. But I saw someone ask this morning, and I just thought, you know what, I'm just gonna make a video. So basically, there's only three things we recommend. It's the nozzle return spring, some type of some type of hop up nub upgrade, and then the buffer system. So I'll go through it real quick. So here's your bolt with your nozzle, and that spring, that's the nozzle return spring. It returns the nozzle to the bolt carrier group. The stock one is pretty weak, and it's because these guns are made in Japan, so they're meant for shooting, they're meant for using lower pressure air. So they're not meant for green gas or propane use. So when using green gas or propane, eventually that spring is gonna bust. Mine lasted, I don't know, 3,000 or 4,000 rounds or so before it broke, gave out. But when it does, it's gonna leave you with a dead gun. It's gonna be a catastrophic failure. This is gonna be like stuck or something. Your bolt will get stuck in the system, and basically you're gonna be out for the rest of the day. So out of the box, just buy the nozzle return spring set and swap it out. Eagle 6 UK, if you just YouTube Eagle 6 MWS, you'll see he has a lot of disassembly videos. He has basically every disassembly video you'll need for this platform, including the bolt system. But yeah, basically you have to take all this apart, and then you'll get to the springs. This is, there's different people, there's a lot of different parts, people that make the nozzle spring sets. Another great thing about this platform, there's so many aftermarket parts support. I've been using Dynamic Precision with good luck. I've also used Guns Modify. GMP is good, always good to go. There are always mixed results. I know some people have had an issue with these Dynamic Precision ones, but I'd say like 99% people don't. They're pretty good. While we're on it, I will just say, Angry Gun, we typically do not recommend any Angry Gun parts, internal parts anyways. They just seem to have really bad QC, and a lot of their parts are just total junk in my opinion. They make some decent externals, I guess, and there's a few things that I do use from them that I'll go into in the other videos. But getting back on track, so these are my stock parts I replaced. So this is the Dynamic Precision enhanced nozzle spring set. So it's going to give you the main nozzle return spring there, and then a couple other springs, which is basically this little guy there, that little guy there, and then your main spring, which is in there. And also, there's also a spring for the actual nozzle valve that you'll replace too, if you get this full set. It's mainly this one, and you can see mine broke. And so that's the one that's the main one you want to replace. If you just buy that, it's like, $10. Get the whole set, it's like $20. Good, definitely recommended upgrade. So number one, nozzle return spring. Number two, the hop up nub. So the stock nub it comes with is kind of just a soft cylinder, squishy rubber thing, and it just doesn't apply a very good hop. It's fine, I think, up to like 3 O's maybe even, but it's a cheap, easy upgrade. That's something you should definitely change out. So you basically just want some type of hard spacer. I like to use concave spacers. I actually use the brass concave spacers in all my hop ups. The ones I have are from 6G Gunsmithing, I think. It's a company out of UK. then they work great. They can be somewhat hard to get a hold of sometimes, and they're about 25 or like $30 plus shipping from UK. It can be expensive if you're in the States like me. So there are other options. WeTech, WE, they sell one on eBike. You get like 2 for $10. I haven't used those, but they look like they should work fine. Also WeTech, WII. They also make one you can buy from their website, but essentially you just want any kind of like hard hop-up nub. I've heard of guys even, you know, just taking a big pen insert and chopping a little spacer out off of that and using that, and it's fine. You know, the stock one of the great things about Tokyo Marui is their hop-ups, right? They're renowned for being very accurate, reliable, consistent. So you can either, there is another option, I guess, that you can also replace the hop-up arm. Laylax makes a arm that you just buy, and basically like this, you know, it's that piece. This is not exactly it, but this is the hop-up arm that kind of, you know, goes down in the chamber, and normally you'd have your hop-up nub contact against that. But if you buy that, then you just swap out the stock arm with the Laylax arm, and it has a built-in nub, so you don't have to buy any aftermarket nub. You just buy this arm, and it's got a built-in nub, and it also gives you more range of motion in the hop-up chamber. So it's just going to apply better contact to the BB, give you extended range, and especially if you want to run higher weight BBs, like I recommend, you know, at a minimum 3.0s for these. Outdoor, I personally love running 0.40s, but 3.6, 3.2, you know, they all work. But gas guns, these do seem to like heavier BBs. You know, it's 2022. You guys should all be running 3.0s at a minimum, anyways, even for AEGs, I'd say. But you know, getting off topic, but BB weights, whole other video, but you know, with GBB, we only have 35 rounds in the mags, right? So we're not dumping through a lot of rounds. And so I don't mind paying a little extra for high quality, heavier weight BBs like the 0.40s, because I just don't use as much ammo. So if I was blasting through them on an AEG, yeah, I think 3.0s is probably the sweet spot just for like, you know, money considerations, bang for buck, I guess. But, for these guns, I think it's worth getting the good ammo because 1, we don't use as much. 2, you don't have as many shots, so you want to make sure you have good ammo that's going to be reliable or, you know, accurate and make those hits. And heavier weight BBs, people tend to call them a little more, so 1 or 2 shots of a 0.40, even from extended ranges, they're going to call that hit, and you're not having to waste more shots trying to get them to call their hit. So that's a whole other topic. But so yeah, sorry. 1, first upgrade, nozzle return spring. 2, some type of hop up nub upgrade, and 3 is the buffer itself. So I like to yeah, I think it's a good upgrade to get some type of kind of aluminum buffer. The stock one I have in here is plastic, so you know, they work fine, they'll last a while. I have broken one though. They can break, especially in summertime when it's just higher pressures and everything. You know, this plastic can break, so some type of aluminum buffer is always a solid upgrade. This is a GMP makes this one. This is the V1 or something. They do have a couple models, so be careful which one you buy because some of them are meant for their buffer tubes. Something I guess I'll get into in a more advanced video, but basically just get an aluminum buffer. These are cool because they're adjustable, so you can pop this pin out, pop this end plug out, and then you can like customize the weight that you put in there. So these are just, you know, you can buy real steel AR-15 buffer weights, KAK Industries, they sell them, and you can buy tungsten is the heaviest, or steel, or aluminum is the lightest. The GMP also comes with its own weights. I don't know what they're made out of, but they all weigh a little different, and so you can tune that a bit. The point of that is the heavier this is, then the more reciprocating mass, a little more felt recoil. Something I'll get into a different video, but yeah, just to sum it up, 3 upgrades you should do with the stock MWS: nozzle return spring, some type of hop up nub, and a buffer. Arguably, I would say this too, actually, while we're on it. The stock buffer tube comes with I don't know if they still do, but they came with a 2-piece buffer tube where it had a removable end cap, and this can be a problem because when operating the system, you know, extended use, that end cap can work its way loose. If that does, that's bad. It'll end up, this happened to me, it'll end up falling loose in your stock. You won't even realize it. But then essentially your bolt and your buffer will have nowhere to stop, right? So it'll over travel, and that'll lead to damage in your lower receiver because essentially your bolt will be over traveling and then contacting your receiver here. If you guys can see, but there's some damage there from a little bolt over travel. So that's something you want to always keep an eye out for. Something I'll talk about in another video. Anytime you change anything in especially your buffer system or even your bolt, you always want to check your bolt travel. And there's a couple methods to do that. Again, I'll go over that in another video, but essentially keep that in mind. You want to always check your bolt travel whenever you change out your operating system. So, you know, your buffer or even your bolt, I would say just always check that you're not over traveling into the receiver and causing damage. The way to mitigate that real quick is to add some spacers. We use nylon spacers in the end of your tube, like behind the spring, and you add more spacers, and that pushes it out more, so you're not contacting your receiver. But yeah, I would actually just throw in as the 4th upgrade, if you don't want to buy a 1-piece buffer tube, which they're only like $30 or so, at a minimum, out of the box, take that removable end cap off the stock buffer tube and red Loctite that. I've done that with my stock one, just red Loctite, and then it won't come loose, but that's something I would definitely recommend too. Just ran a little over, sorry, but yeah, just want to make this for someone who was asking a question, and I'll do some more videos hopefully. All right, see ya.